if there's any doubt as to why I continue to do what I do, I mean, it's right there. Cheryl is just amazing, and I say to myself, if I today can be a percentage of the teacher that she is, and the amazing teacher that she is, I'm very lucky indeed. My life has changed so much in the last 4 years. 4 years ago, I was the, I guess you could say, custodial son of my two parents who were living with me. And basically, things were progressing fairly well. About 4 years ago, I lost my mom. And then shortly after this, about a little bit over a year after that, right after, ironically, the last speech tournament of the year, I remember like it was yesterday, I was in the office and saying I enjoyed building up my sick days, not because I didn't like to lose them, and I had 200 or so of them. And I remember commenting to someone, look at I would check my check stub and say, wow, look at all these days that I have. And sure enough, about a week later, I used my first of those 200 and some, I hadn't used one maybe 10, 11, 12 years. He was the first one I had used in a while, and the second, and the third, and the fourth, and before I became very ill. And before I knew it, a variety of health issues, and had used all of those 200 and some sick days over 15 months. And it was a eye-opening experience. Also during that time, ironically, on the day that I was supposed to be released from one of my stays at Woodlawn, that I was in, I actually have set, I think, when I was told, the second longest stint at Woodlawn. I was there for over I believe close to 9 months over one period. They put me in every hallway to keep me in there. I know every nurse at Woodlawn. If any of you ever need to go to Altman Hospital, drop my name. It can get you things that you would not imagine. I have been with every nurse, doctor, and let me tell you, as I was about to be released from Woodlawn, my father passed away. And obviously, going home several weeks, they kept me in for a few more weeks, a week or so, just to make sure I was balanced and things, but going home to a totally different situation was hard for me. I will never forget, and I told this story several times, I was able to be released for one day to attend my father's funeral, which, interestingly enough, my dad was a huge McKinley fan. His funeral was on the day of the Mass McKinley game. And, which is, if you're McKinley, that's we're talking big stuff. But the day of the game, amazingly enough, a bunch of my students from my classes came and sat with me at the funeral. And again, that, along with the fact that every day, those 9 of the over 15 months that I was in the hospital, there was a kid. Wow, there was a kid in that hospital room, at least one every day, sitting with me, talking to me. I couldn't speak. I was on the ventilator for a good part of the time. I was writing things on the dry erase board. I couldn't eat for 9 weeks, couldn't drink for 9 weeks, so they would see me dreaming of water and popsicles, and they would bear with me. They would come in. I was on a bed. I still did speech practice from that bed. I had them up there. We were entertaining the nurses. The kids were speaking for them. I just saw it as part of my job and who I am, because the schools and teachers, you all, to receive this honor from educators is just amazing, because it was educators who made what I do possible. I am the child of 2 parents, a mom who had come from Greece in her 30s, who was not a high school graduate, a father who served in the military who was also not a high school graduate, but they trusted their children to educators when they sent them to school, and all 4, myself and my 3 siblings, 3 of us became educators. My brother is an attorney, and my nephew this Saturday will be graduating through Neo-UConn med school before the age of 24. So it's teachers who took my mom, who came to this country not knowing any English whatsoever, who took my mom, who came to all the parent-teacher conferences, who I can remember, we went to McGregor School, I lived across the street from McGregor. We would forget our lunch money. I could peek out the window and I could see Mom slowly in her very shy way, making her way up to McGregor to bring things to the classroom, to bring me my lunch money, whatever that may be. It was the teachers who embraced a person again who was totally out of her element and took us in as kids and put us on the road to where we sit today. And there's no greater honor for me than to receive this from a group of people who have made pretty much all that possible. I know that my parents now are extremely, hopefully, they're very pleased with how things have gone. And I know that come Saturday when my nephew does graduate med school, they will be all that more enthused as well. Again, I truly appreciate, I'm honored by this. I'm totally floored. It's been, the 3 years back, it's been amazing. I'm building those sick days up again. I have been back 2 years now. I have not, and considering it blows my mind, although I don't see, I'm not a medical term person, but I guess the cancer was stage 4 itself. But I have not taken a sick day since I came back into the school in 2 years. It's just doing it because I want to be there for those kids, and I'm inspired by them. I also want to personally thank our senator here. I don't know if, I'm sure all the things he does, this is probably not something that's in his memory. While I was in the hospital during my extended stay, was the year that my driver's license was supposed to be renewed, and I was in there through the whole grace period too. I was not out. And when I got out and I was getting close to being able to drive it, and I had to learn how to stand, walk, the whole 9 yards, I learned that I would have to go through the whole process of the testing the whole bit, and that just drove some strange phobia in my head. Oh my goodness, no, I can't do this. And I became very, I had huge anxiety about having to do that again. So I thought, well, perhaps if I called and contacted some people about my situation, maybe they could maybe understand and maybe move me through, and I'll be able to get my license again. And sure enough, when I was able to contact the senator's office, I was able to get my license back. So some of you may not be happy about that because but I am, thanks to the senator here, I am once again permitted to drive on the roads, which is nice. So I'm sure my brother was probably thinking, but again, I am extremely appreciative of this wonderful thing. I feel like, again, I'm a new teacher. The energy is here. The 3 years back, the two years back, I've had some of the best years that I've had because I appreciate things. I appreciate the chance that I've been given to not have had the opportunity to experience what I've experienced. And the experience the students that I've experienced in the last several years would have been, man, it would have really stunk. I mean, it really would have been. I remember when I went under for the first surgery, I had no idea that all this was going to happen. The cancer surgery itself was not a big, it was big, but the infection I got afterwards is what caused all the issues. And I just remember, had things not turned out the way they did, it really would have, because I had no idea, I didn't see this coming, it all happened so quickly. But again, being where I am now, and I truly appreciate every single one of you who are here, all the kids who come in to the classroom, Cheryl tremendously. There are things, I'm sure Cheryl, she said all these wonderful things about me, but you ask her about the time that she had to drive back from Sylvania in a blizzard after a speech tournament. Yeah, I put her through some things as well. But I firmly believe we are blessed in the system to work with the variety of wonderful students we have. We have such tremendous talent and ability, and I will put any single one of our teachers and any single one of our students against any student across the country. And we're taking 3 of them, 3 amazing kids, to Dallas this summer to the national tournament. The first time I've had 3 in the same year, and they're going to represent this system in a most truly wonderful way. Again, thank you. I will continue doing that. I still got years in me, so I plan on coaching and teaching and doing the things to hopefully show that I am deserving of this honor and making you all proud for years to come. I truly appreciate the word. Thank you very much.